So folks, managed to get everything packed away. I'm just having a quiet moment, drinking my cup of coffee. Left the coffee till last. That's good, that wakes me up. Yeah, everything put away. Just hang on. We can see, rucksack with the rubbish to hand, ready to bin if I can. As a reminder, I'm going to Blacksail Pass, which will be quite a climb, I know from past experience. Gets quite rocky, quite tricky. Hope it's not raining. The weather forecast is overcast and yeah, bits of rain, so we shall see what happens. Right, coffee it is, and then I shall get started. So over in the distance, more to the left hand side, buried in mist, is actually Coniston Old Man. We came down into the valley and I camped sort of in the valley, and now come over to what's called Wallowbarrow Farm, and I've come up the track here. I'm going to go through that gate and we'll come to Wallowbarrow Crag. Interesting sign, Hardknot Forest has been restored to native woodland, gradually being returned to oak, birch woodland, crags, bog and open ground. Obviously not keen on the bog, but part of what is required, I'm sure. Almost a sculpture on the landscape now. So we've just come through Grassguards, which is just a collection of 3 cottages. But this is Grassguards Gill, and we're going up this track here, and we're heading to Eskdale now. As I rise higher, this land gets rather boggy, so I'll probably not record too much until I'm at the height to be going down into the valley at Eskdale. So that's where we've come from. Very bleak and fairly boggy underfoot, to say the least. And then I love this diddy little sign here telling us this is the way to Eskdale. Just hang on a minute, I'll get closer. We'll get the sense of size then. There you go, I'm actually struggling to get it into camera shot. It's that small. Anyhow, as the sign says, we're going that way now. So we've got a pretty steep section now down into Eskdale. Not surprising. I'm going to put the camera away now. So I just love that name, Warhouse Bridge. However, we're following the one above to Penny Hill, and that will take us into the centre of Eskdale. So yeah, 1,035 yards to Eskdale essentially. And we're ducking under the branch there and going through the gate over there. Once we've crossed the stream, of course. Oh, there we go. Wet feet, I think. So I was just reflecting how much I'm using the camera. I'm like a child in the sweet shop. There's just so much to photograph and film. No wonder I'm running short of battery. Just found a bath. Even asked the taps as well. Tempted maybe? Nah, I think I'll still give it a miss. Yep, we're happy to avoid the farmyard. So this is Doctor's Bridge. Originally it was a pack horse bridge, and then the local doctor had it expanded, or widened I should say, so it could take his pony and trap. What I love about this story is we still know the name of the doctor, Dr. Edward Tyson, and would you believe it was in 1734 that this bridge was widened? I can't believe 300 years later I'm talking about the good doctor and his bridge. Right, we need to head on further into Eskdale. Not far now. Obviously, if weather conditions were different and there wasn't as much water in the river, then they may have been tempted, but I think they're very wet and slippy, those stepping stones. But they lead you to St. Catherine's Church. The chapel from the 12th century, and it was originally owned by St. Bede's Priory, which is obviously where the coast to coast starts. Right, we're gonna go the way that is behind me now. Well, that's a bit crap, particularly to find out at this point. Oh, blast. Not quite sure what I'm gonna do now. Definitely have to walk back the way I came. Walk all the way around, get on the side of the river where St. Catherine's is. Well, because of the diversion along the road, it does give me opportunity to show you the railway station. So I've just come through Fisherground Farm, so I can now safely say I'm back on track. Hey! And we're going that way. So I obviously spoke too soon when I said I was on track. I was obviously tempting fate at that point, because I took a wrong turning, ended up in Esk Green. However, met a couple of guys who were doing the tour as well, so that was a bit lucky, and they're helping me out with directions, so all's good again. And we're in Mr. Forest, and yeah, inevitably, as you can tell, with me being out of breath, we're going uphill, but I feel so much better now. The other thing was, yeah, it didn't make sense. I was concentrating on walking and I was getting near to lunchtime. I was without food and water, so I had to, whoops, just got attacked by a branch, had to get some food. And the other thing I found was I'd left the camera on, so I'd run out of a battery, so I had to change the battery as well. So it's been a series of disasters in a sense, but all's well with the world now. The sun's actually come out, so yeah, right, keep going and follow the guys in front. So we're just passing this on the side. It looks quite magnificent. Never really come across it before. A place called Great Bank Fell. Intriguing. Sure, it'd be a bit of a challenge to get all that. Anyhow, we're heading up the track. So we're just descending into the Wasdale Valley. You can just about see Waswater, and then just beyond that is Wallowbarrow as well. But yeah, just making our way down here. We're now on a track that follows the river to Waswater. So Waswater is the deepest lake at 258 feet. And boy, it looks cold down there. So just past Wasdale Inn pub, I'm now heading alongside the beck here. In fact, I just need to cross this packhorse bridge and be on the other side, and then start heading into the next valley. So this is looking back from Westwater. So when I was looking for my wild camp spot, could not believe I'd actually found this place here that's actually got covered on 3 sides. Very ideal. So came into Wasdale Valley here. There's Wallowbarrow, and then in the distance we've got Pillar, and to the right of Pillar is the actual ridgeline that connects Pillar. And this up here is Harter Fell. But tomorrow I'm heading between those 2 hills there. So essentially that is Black Sail Pass, and that's where I'm going tomorrow. Hopefully it won't be as windy and miserable as it is now. As you can imagine, because of the weather, I'm actually deciding to have a early night, but I'll have an early morning as well. Hi guys, so I'm sat inside my tent now. It's a bit chilly outside, a bit windy, but I thought I would give some reflections on the kind of day that I've had. The day actually started really well. Got up reasonably early, cleared the ground and got away, and things were going reasonably well. And it wasn't until I got to the place where the path had been closed down that things started to go a little bit wrong. So as I was walking back from where the path was closed, I actually met a couple of guys and I explained to them that the path ahead was closed. They thanked me for the information, and just as I was walking away, one of them spotted the fact that I had the guide for the Lakeland tour. So we exchanged pleasantries and we talked about the direction going, etc. But I pushed on and left him at that point. Yeah, I kind of went up. We had to go by road then, so I went up to Boot. Yep, that is the name of the place, Boot. And then along the road, as you saw, and I went to the station, which was nice to see the train, and carried on a little bit further. And obviously then I thought I was back on track. That turned out to be okay for a moment or two, and then things started to go a little bit pear-shaped. Kept making silly little mistakes. Eventually I made a bigger mistake and ended up in Esk Green, where I met the two guys again. And it was at that point I decided enough was enough. I was going to join forces. So yeah, I grabbed some lunch and then walked along with Mike and Jack, and we shared a little bit of the load in terms of navigation, although I have to say that Jack was the major force when it came to the navigation. So I pushed on to get to my spot here, and whilst in some ways I was upset about the day I was having, now I'm pretty pleased because I had some company, and also this wild camping spot is a good spot. I've been lucky, 2 nights running I've managed to find some decent places. The other thing is, on reflection, I think I've worked out I've done about 25k. So tomorrow I'm trying to head over via the Black Sail Pass to Buttermere, and then can't quite remember where it goes to next, but eventually it ends up in Keswick. I'm not sure I'll make it to Keswick, but I'll give it a good try. Right, that's enough talking. Now I'm sleeping. See you in the morning.